Hi, I hope all is progressing well. Welcome to I Don't Know, We Can Talk About It, where we discuss myriads of topics reasonably, civilly, and responsibly. My name is Kevin Dufresne. We're going to jump right into our first two topics concerning education, as well as myriads of other topics in connection with education. Through the use of two articles, which you can read along with as we have our discussion. Mental health assessments in schools. Will mental health assessments be relevant and helpful to everyone? Will everyone be aware that such assessments exist at a school? What can result from taking an assessment that will benefit one in the long run? Does a mental health assessment assess parameters extending from school, extending from home? I think having mental health assessments available in schools can be helpful. Though I think a mental health assessment or an assessment of the sort has to have sure guidance thereafter. I think one benefit of therapy is a therapist, or even in a group setting, group therapy has parameters of guidance which can help one to not feel as though Pandora's box is opening after a topic arises. That can help one feel as though there are ways to navigate living in the world, even beyond such situations. Additionally, I think the conversations surrounding mental health are in deep connection with another topic which the next article will discuss. Not simply about AI, though about the levels of human interaction in the present day in relation to students, individuals. Whole child assessment is a unique phraseology. Whole child in itself seems to regard that at a point, perhaps, not all of a child receives the proper necessities. The use of a phraseology like whole child feels as though individuals are not receiving the respect, the mindfulness of being a full human being. How does one connect one's entirety, the fullness of one's human spectrums, to reality in a way that is healthy, in a way that helps one grow healthily in the world at large, considering every individual is different, considering personalities are a developmental factor, considering choice is available to any deciding individual about any particular situation. How can one acknowledge oneself as a full human? How can a student understand oneself as a full human being, as a whole human, as a whole child, from wherever the student, wherever the person is coming from? Even beyond guidance, because an understanding of psychological culturing, external from an individual, can be, how might an individual self-culture in the world at large, especially considering all that already is in the individual's life, personally, as well as externally from the individual, though close. The connecting article discusses using methods of artificial intelligence to integrate what humans can naturally cultivate in order to process data potentially more efficiently, to understand how much more a human might need for better development, how much more a human might need for growing well completely across the spectrums of a complete human being. What I find interesting are the terms ideating, as well as the term daunting. These two terms in the article represent a point in human connection that every human needs to be aware of. Studies on human development are not new. There are studies that are very good from even the middle of the 20th century regarding human development, regarding parameters of discussions in modernity, indicating that humans require necessary attentions beyond food, beyond physical contact, which is quite important, beyond listening and visual comprehension, auditory and visual comprehension. Humans need full emotional, intellectual roundings, not only what stimulates in a way that plateaus, though may be enjoyable, though what stimulates in a way that is heightening. So a human can be more functional and effective, efficient in societies at large, particularly good societies where progress is well happening and in constant development. I think ideating means that theoretical developments are happening for individuals to consider. Psychologically, research is available to indicate why ideating might become a reality, why ideating is ideating theoretically concerning the forefront of conversations around education. Depending on the entity researching, advising, deliberating, understandings are available concerning where needs are, what needs are, as well as implementing practices which are quite available. I like the 5 C's the article brings up. The 5 C's are quite effective, not estranged to human beings, just a conscious approach to what humans need to acknowledge. Just a conscious approach to what humans need to better develop. What might be between humans communicating? That affects a human's development. Long term, short term. I want to hear what you think about what we're talking about. What's your perspective or perspectives on the discussion, the articles, these topics? Additionally, I posit a curious question to you. How much more can one benefit developing a different way and or different ways of thinking as well as implementing practically in connection with school as well as in connection with anything beyond school, extending from school? We're going to enter a topic I really enjoy talking about as well. Books, reading physical books, scientifically, can be very beneficial to one's health long term in life. The book review today will be on Catch-22. Oh, Mr. Heller, quite a book. To be reading a book that is able to connect industry and war, though marking war as a part of industry, with so many perspectives of positions, even more so comically. One may consider the text dark comedy. The personalities that fulfill the positions. or that grow into the positions for a reason or another. How men and women interact in these fields of industry, in these varying parts, connecting to one character that is in the midst of everything as an observer, though not in the grips of everything. The Catch-22 phrase is somewhat ironic, somewhat like a fascinating machination, an essential function of an automaton creating to ensure the reader is well aware that the functions of such a world are seemingly so automatic, so in rotation, though are easily adjustable, whether that be for the person that might seem like a cog in the wheel, though it's really not so. The ability to navigate one's situations is quite apparent in the text, which I think is wonderful because one has to move beyond a point of whatever one feels. At times, whatever one thinks to regard the situations at hand. I think Mr. Heller really brings us through the story, through the main character, Sari, with an enlightening perspective, giving multiple stories in one compilation that regards so many aspects of human being in industry in relation to war times, particularly concerning specific areas within war camps, as well as bureaucratically functioning ideologies in relation to one's development in states of war, though beyond states of war, with so many practical elements advising an individual of a way or another, leaving a reader to deliberate, to become conscious of the situation. Though, how will one truly ever decide is completely up to the reader. Additionally, I think the character developments throughout the story really give one, as a reader, as a deliberator, a position of choice within the text. How might one be as a soldier? How might one be in the midst of not chaos, those steady happenings that one can choose to be of or choose to be otherwise in myriad ways. I think the writing is brilliant. I really enjoy reading the text, and I think the text offers a lot of value to a reader looking to explore perspectives of human thinking, human processing, though in connection with industry, war, on depths that Mr. Heller brings to the table well for the text. Thank you for joining me for another episode of I Don't Know, We Can Talk About It. Onward